Alright, now before I get to this tutorial, I want it to be known that there's not really much to show you about advanced sniping. Everything all comes down to the experience and the amount of practice you get. So, with that being said, the more consistent you are with sniping, the better you're gonna get. It is as simple as that. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to be showing you guys are my settings. And I will let it be known now that it's all personal preference. So just because you use my settings, don't expect to be good at it. You know what I'm saying? Use settings that are good for you, alright? And practice with them. Even if you do use my settings, practice with my settings. Don't just think you're gonna get good with them the first time you use them. You actually have to practice with the settings you get, especially if they're new settings, alright? Alright, so I don't think I really have to show you guys about camera. The first person field of view, obviously you want to have that shit all the way up. First person ragdoll on, first person convict roll. I'm pretty sure y'all know about this, so there's no point in really me showing you guys about the camera settings, but the display settings. I have my weapon target on target, not on target, on simple, and my end game depth of field effects off. And trust me, make sure you turn that shit off if you have it on, because if you have it on, that shit is going to look fucking ugly as fuck, and it's going to be a lot harder to time your shots or to even drag your shots. And I'm gonna show you why. If you don't know what the fuck this is, I'm gonna show you exactly why. So let me focus on something real quick. So you see how like around my screen is blurry? Like look at the center and look around my screen, everything is blurry. So when I'm focused on the object, everything around it is blurry. You do not want to have that. So make sure you turn on depth of field effects off, bro, because if you don't, I'm trying to tell you that shit is gonna be ass, bruh. Alright, so that'll be it for settings. There's not really much to show you or to tell you guys about settings. Like I said, it's all personal preference. So you choose settings that are best for you. If you're good with high sense, use high sense. If you're good with low, use low sense. But here's the thing, I'll tell you guys, if you have low sensitivity, it will help you with long range simply because the longer, say your opponent is all the way down there, right, and you have slow settings, but it'll be good for dragging because obviously you're playing on slow settings, so it'll be more accurate if you use slow settings for long distance. I mean, using slow settings and fast settings, there's pros and cons to it, but that's one of the pros for slow settings. I feel as if your opponent is closer range, you may want to play on a higher sense so you can drag them closer range. I don't know, that's my personal preference. That's what I choose to do. I'm obviously a high sense player, so yeah. So basically, a longer distance is better for slow sense. A closer distance is better for fast sense. That's how I look at it. I can drag easier and more accurately when my opponent is close to me. Um, Further distance, since I'm a high sense player, I have to rely on my timing because dragging with high sense from a further distance is fucking tragic, bro. It is actually you really have to be accurate doing that. So yeah.
I was in the dark where they lurk. I ain't had no church. Now I'm in the burbs with the birds making hell.
Alright, so let's go over the strafing. I'm about to show you guys one of the things that typical noobs that snipe. This is the difficult thing they do. And this is exactly why they get hit so easily when they snipe against people that are experienced at sniping. So I just told Devastation to do a long strafe or mirror my strafe, and basically what that is when your opponent does the exact same strafe that you do, therefore it makes it easier for you to time their strafe and where they're gonna go. It's so easy to predict where they're gonna go. So we're gonna go ahead and demonstrate this for you guys right now. So he's gonna mirror my strafe right now. See, he goes the same direction. It's so easy to hit and so easy to time, and I see that with all fucking noobs or all people that are, you know what I'm saying, trying to get into sniping. That's one thing you never want to do. Even if you're doing a jitter strafe, like even if you're spamming your left analog stick, you never want to do that, alright? It would make it super easy for your opponent to predict. Now that doesn't mean go in one direction for a long period of time. That shit can easily be dragged or timed. Really, avoiding there's no way of avoiding getting hit quick, alright? If you're going against a top player, you're always going to get hit quick. It all depends against the player you are going against, alright? Basically, just whatever you do, in a nutshell, just try not to make your strafe predictable, right? You shouldn't be worried about your strafe anyway. You should be worried about more of your sniping than your strafe, because the more you worry about your strafe, the more you're just gonna lose focus in sniping. So always make sure that when you go against somebody, make sure that you're more focused in sniping than your actual strafe, because yeah, you will lose focus just worrying about your strafe, and then if they're hitting you quick, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? So yeah, make sure you're focused on sniping, not your strafe, alright? As long as you're not doing that basic shit, as long as you're not being predictable or trying not to be predictable, you should be good to go, alright? I'm literally trying to explain this shit the best way possible, because there's really isn't any way to explain advanced sniping. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's really all comes down to how experienced you are and how consistent you are at sniping. The more you practice, the better you're gonna get. All right. So I will say that again. The more you practice, the better you're gonna get. This guy that's in front of me right now, that's Devastation. Most people in the sniping community know who this motherfucker is, bro. Uh, he's the truth at sniping. I'll say that. I've been practicing with this man all year in 2017. I no life the fuck out this game in 2017, and that's how I got the name I got now, and that's how I got the recognition I got now in the sniping community because of this guy. He's one of the best snipers in the sniping community. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my boy Devastation. Uh, for those that don't know, he is the original owner of Heavy X. He made Heavy X, and I just led it with him, but he ended up leaving, and I ended up taking over the crew. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. But let's get back to the tutorial. The next thing we're going to get to is timing.
We might have to run a test for my brother, murder, suicide, put 2 lines in that S, cause I'm a
Alright, so here we are. The most important aspect about sniping, and that will be timing. Um, I will say that timing, I find timing more important than drag scope, and I feel like that is the most basic thing you can do while sniping, especially if you're a beginner. Uh, but there's more to just timing. Like I said before, sniping is all about predictions. That's if you're not just dragging 24/7. If you're not drag scoping 24/7, it's really about predictions and where you think that your opponent will go next. So, with that being said, I'm going to explain this method I use called time and aim. Uh, so as you can see, I have a video here. So it's me versus Plant. This is my vengeance video. This is pretty old. This is from back in 2018. Uh, basically, I'm basically going to show you guys what I do and how I time my shots. I know a lot of beginners and people that are not as experienced, they don't drag often, they time. So I'm going to show you guys a more advanced way to time people. But then again, it all comes down to predictions, and if it all comes down to your settings as well. All right, you need to have really good control of your settings. So I will say that as well. So yeah, let's get this clip started. I have it in slow motion. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by time and aim. All right, so he spawns in. Right, I shoot. I miss. I adjust my scope over to the left because I predicted he was going to go to my left, and then I hit him. So it is basically as simple as that. All right. If you predict that your opponent is going to go somewhere, simply move your scope, wait for him to go into your scope if you're timing them. All right. Now, there could have been another way I could have done it, right? So instead of moving my scope when I missed, right, what I could have done was, before I didn't move my scope, I could have just dragged them. I could have just easily dragged them. That could have been another thing I'd do. But I'm a timer. I like timing my shots more than I like dragging. So I decided to adjust my scope over to my left because I predicted he was going to go there. And then he paid the price. Simple as that. So I think I'd do it again in the next clip, if I'm not mistaken. So I miss. I predicted he was gonna go to my right. It's funny how I remember this shit. So yeah, I hit him. So yeah, it's really all about predictions. If you're gonna time, make sure that you're not just having your scope in just one spot and just relying on your player or your opponent to just strafe into your scope. Because if you're going against someone that's experienced, they're gonna know how to not go into your scope. As crazy as that sounds, we know where our opponent is aiming. All right, top players, they know about that shit. We also listen for the bullets. I know I do. If I hear him shoot a bullet, that makes me, I don't know, that makes me change directions on my strafe. I don't know. Like I said, it all comes down to experience. It's really hard to go in depth about advanced sniping. It's more so of how much experience you have. I really can't stress that shit enough. So make sure that you guys are practicing 24/7, because the more practice, I dead promise you, bro, you will get good as fuck. I'm trying to tell you that now. Especially if you're practicing with someone that is better than you. Hell, bro, take that ass whooping, my nigga. Take it. You will get better, bro. If you have to fucking take an L every single day to improve, do it, bro. Because I've been there already, bro. Trust me, I've been there, and look where I'm at now. All right. So practice 24/7, and you will get good. So yeah. All right. So this is clips from Finesse Heavy X. I know you guys want to know about drag scoping. Um, then again, there's no way I can teach you how to drag scope. Drag scoping is just a thing that you will have to just practice. All right. So, I'm showing you these clips because this guy, obviously, he's fast sense. Um, yeah, this is basically what accurate drag scoping looks like. All right. He has one of the best drag scopings in the sniping community. I honestly don't know anyone else who drags cleaner than this nigga right here, bro. So, here's another shout out. I want to give a shout out to my man Finesse. Um, yeah, this fucking nigga, this dude right here, his drag is fucking insane, bro. As simple as that. But there's tips that I can give you with drag scoping. I can't really teach you how to drag scope, but I can give you a tip, and that's to, if you're practicing with someone, make sure you have a drag scope practice, and it's really common sense to what that is. You drag scope in that practice 24/7. You're not doing anything but just drags, 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 drags. So if you want to improve on your drag scoping and get used to your settings at the same time, drag scope 24/7 in a practice. That will help you a lot. All right. There really isn't much to drag scoping. Just practice. That's really it. All right. How to join Heavy X, man. It all comes down to how good you are with the sniper, how many people have you beaten, how many people have you lost to. That's how you join Heavy X. If you have a good record, if you're known in the community for being one of the best snipers, that's how you join Heavy X. That's how everyone else in Heavy X got into Heavy X. That's how we establish our standards. We got only the best snipers in Heavy X. So there is no tryouts. No, we haven't done a tryout since fucking 2017 or 2016, I believe. But there are no tryouts as of right now, but we may do tryouts sometime in the future. I don't know when, but we may do tryouts sometime in the future. I have just made a Discord. So what I want you all to do, I want you all to go in the description and click on the link and get into our Discord chat. Make sure you have Discord, obviously. Make sure you have the app Discord. If you do, join it. Tomorrow I will be live streaming a Beach AW tournament for $100. So the winner gets $100. Anybody can join as long as you're in the Discord chat. You have to be in the Discord chat. I'm going to be asking people in the Discord chat, you know what I'm saying, if they want to participate. So I will make sure if you're in the Discord chat if you want to participate in this tournament. So make sure you're in the Discord chat and you should be able to join. And last but not least, bro, if you have no one to practice with or you're just bored and you want to do 1v1 with somebody, I do have a sniping community on PlayStation. If you didn't know, I had this community for about a couple years now, man. This community is old. It has 3.3K. It is the second most popular sniping community on GTA right now. So if you want people to practice with, as you can see, there's the shit is active. So you got plenty of people to 1v1, plenty of people to practice with. Shout out to everybody that's in this community tab. So yeah, be sure to join this shit if you want people to practice with or people to do 1v1s with. Alright, but I'm gonna wrap it up here for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Is more so, again, practice and experience. So make sure you are practicing on your sniping 24/7, bro. I cannot stress that shit enough. Don't forget Discord. If you want to participate in this tournament tomorrow, $100 for the winner. Join my Discord. Link in the description. I will also leave it in the comment section. Make sure you download Discord if you don't have it, and make sure you join the chat. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the live stream. Peace the fuck out, bro.